says, "One thing I have asked from the Lord, that shall I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life."
然后诗篇的27章的第4节写得更明显，说有一件事我曾求耶和华，我仍要寻求，就是一生一世住在耶和华的殿中，瞻仰他的荣美，在他的殿里求问。
And so he had asked his parents, said, "Why were you looking for? Didn't you know that I should have been in my father's house?"
所以当他的耶稣的父母到处找他的时候，找到他的时候，父母责备他，他说：“你们为什么找我呢？我难道不应该是住在耶和华的殿中？”
Now, in the Sermon on the Mount, in Matthew 5:34 and 35, he says, "Make no oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by earth, for it is the footstool of his feet, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King."
大家记得在马太福音的这个天国八福的这个论道的时候，在马太福音第5章34、35，耶稣再次的引用诗篇34，5章的34，马太他说：“只是我告诉你们，什么事都不可起，不可指着天起誓，因为天是上帝的座位；不可指着地起誓，因为地是他的脚凳；也不可指着耶路撒冷起誓，因为耶路撒冷是大军的京城。”
Now this is what Psalm 48:2 says.
在诗篇的第48章，他就这样说
"Beautiful in elevation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, in the far north, the city of the great King."
他说，在48章的这个第2节说，他说神在西安山大君王的城，在北面高居华美，为全地所喜悦。
So you see, he referred to Jerusalem as a city of great King. He got that, and that was quoting from the Psalms. Also in Matthew 7:23, he says, "Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness."
在这个马太福音的第7章第3节，他说，这 Matthew
7:23.
23，在马太福音第7章的第23节说：“我明明的告诉你们，我从来不认识你们，你们这些作恶的人，离开我去吧。”
And then Psalm 6:8 says, "Depart from me, all you who do iniquity." Psalm 6:8.
但是，然后呢，是在这个耶稣是引用诗篇第6章的第8节，6章的8节说：“你们一切作孽的人，离开我吧，因为耶和华听了我哀哭的声音。”
And in teaching the multitude, in Matthew 13:35,
在马太福音第13章的35节
he says, "I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the foundation of the earth."
耶稣说：“我要开口用比喻，把创世以来所隐藏的事发明出来。”
And look at Psalm 78:2.
然后，如果相对应的，耶稣引用的是在诗篇的第78第2节
Says, "I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old."
这个在诗篇78的第2节说：“我要开口说比喻，我要说出古时的谜语。”
And then in Matthew 21:16,
我们再看马太福音的第21章的第16节，
in cleansing the temple,
当耶稣在这个清理圣殿的
he
时候，
says, "Out of the mouth of infants and nursing babes, thou hast prepared praise for thyself."
这个耶稣在马太福音21章的16节说，他说：“你们经上说，你从婴孩和吃奶的口中完全了赞美的话，你们没有念过吗？”
And then look at Psalm 8:2.
然后在相对应的这个经文，它是引用在诗篇的第8章的第2节。
It says, "From the mouth of infants and nursing babes, thou hast established strength."
在诗篇第8章的2节说：“你因敌人的缘故，从婴孩和吃奶的口中建立了能力，使仇敌和报仇的闭口无言。”
Now, in his reply to the priests, Jesus said, where is this? I don't have the stone which the builders rejected, this became the chief cornerstone.
耶稣在这个that's Matthew 21.
Yeah.
21 verse 42. 在马太福音第21章的42节，耶稣又引用说，经上写着说，匠人所砌的石头已做了房角的头块石头，这是主所做的，在我们眼中看为稀奇。
And this came about from the Lord, and it is marvelous in our eyes. You did read the whole verse?
Yeah.
Okay. And in Psalm 8:22 and 23, it says,
还是在诗篇第8章的Psalm 18.
Psalm 8.
Psalm 8 is only 9 verses.
Huh?
Psalm 8 only 9 verses. Psalm 118. 在诗篇的118。
Psalm 118?
Yeah.
Okay.
诗篇的118。
22 and 23.
在诗篇118的22和23章，22和23节。
It says, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This is the Lord's doings, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
这个诗篇118的22、23就是耶稣所引用的这个诗篇的经文说，匠人所砌的石头已成了房角的头块石头，这是耶和华所做的，在我们眼中看为稀奇。
Now, when weeping over Jerusalem, Jesus said, how often I wanted to gather your children together. And this is,
这个当耶稣为耶路撒冷哭泣的时候，他说：“我多么想把你们聚集在我这里。”
the way a hen gathers her chicks under her wings.
就像母鸡聚集它的小鸡一样。
And he was using an expression found in Psalm 91:4.
在这个诗篇的第91章，他就用同样的这个情景来描述他当时为耶路撒冷哭泣的原因。
He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you may seek refuge.
这个
91:4.
在第4节，第4节是在诗篇91的第4节说，他必用自己的羽毛遮盖你，你要投靠在他的翅膀底下，他的诚实是大小的盾牌。
Now, in debating with the Jews, and I don't have the reference. Has it not been written in your law, I said you are gods?
这个耶稣在跟犹太人这个辩论的时候，曾经讲到说，他说经上没有写的说你们都是神吗？
In Psalm 82:6, this is what it says.
然后在诗篇的第80章的第6节，他这样说
I said you are gods, and all of you are sons of the Most High.
，It's
82:6.
82，在第82诗篇82的第6节说，他说我曾说你们是神，都是至高者的儿子。
On the cross, Jesus quoted the Psalms twice.
在十字架上的时候，耶稣还2次引用诗篇。
Matthew 27:46.
在马太福音第27章的第46节，
He says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
他说，我的主，我的神，你为什么离弃我？
And Psalm 92:1 says exactly the same thing.
然后在这个诗篇的第19章的第1节就说的同一句话。
I mean, you see how marvelous when David was quoted the very words that Jesus said on the cross.
这个很有意思的是，大卫居然说出了1000年以后挂在十字架上的耶稣口里要讲出来的话，1000年之前大卫就已经在诗篇里把它记下来。
But then in Luke 23:46,
当我们看在路加福音的第23章的第46节的时候，
he says, Father,